We have some major news. Trump supporters are currently freaking out because Donald Trump's FBI and Department of Justice just announced that there is no Epstein client list, as the conspiracy theorists have argued. According to Axios, Donald Trump's DOJ and FBI have concluded that they have no evidence that Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client list, or was killed. The administration is releasing a video in both raw and enhanced versions that it says indicates no one entered the area where he was being held in 2019 on the night that he died. This is the first time that the Trump administration has officially contradicted conspiracy theories about Epstein, and these theories are ones that were pushed by the FBI's two top officials, Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. So MAGA, the conspiracy theories that you've been pushing for years, are getting contradicted by your own guys. Trump, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, these are your guys saying that there is no conspiracy, there's no list, there's none of that. I know this is very heartbreaking for MAGA. I'm sure they'll still find a way to create a conspiracy theory about this, but there you have it. No list.
Not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax.
A hoax? Because you both said this.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Or was it a hoax when a MAGA Republican senator questioned your soon-to-be FBI director at his confirmation hearing, and they both agreed that they would do everything they can to release the files?
So will you work with me on this issue so we know who worked with Jeffrey Epstein in building these sex trafficking rings?
Absolutely, Senator. Child sex trafficking has no place in the United States of America, and I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director.
Or maybe it was a hoax when the MAGA Speaker of the House said this.
We should put everything out there and let the people decide it. I mean, the White House and the White House team are privy to facts that I don't know. I mean, this isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that.
There's no reason to protect predators, right? So,
of course.
You know, this is the Family Values Party. Let's just do it.
Democrats never made the release of these files an issue before the election. This was something that you promised your voters because your voters were the ones that wanted to see it. And now it's time to pony up, and you can't.
Was Trump on the Epstein list or not? I need to know from the two of you. Was Trump on the damn list?
I think he is worried that he is somewhere in the files. So, like, I don't even know if there's a list. Like, I'm willing to believe that there's just no list.
Okay.
But there's clearly tons and tons of documents that the DOJ has. And he is now, because he's gone through a criminal trial and been charged a couple other times, he knows that there are plenty of court filings and documents that have all kinds of information in it. And, you know, the standard to put something in an indictment is obviously not the same. So I'm sure he is concerned that, yeah, maybe he's not on a list as a client, whatever, but he's somewhere in there, and it could be embarrassing. And yeah,
so he told Pam Bondi, "Do not release
stifle this."
That I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Think Pam Bondi, independent? How in the hell do you not know that? You seriously think Pam decided on her own as an independent source for the AG? Mr. President, I just want to let you know, here's my decision. I won't be reduced to eliminate our Bonnie's file. Give me a damn break. Come on, man.
My theory on this has always been the conspiracy is hiding in plain sight. This guy was a rich, powerful creep with rich, powerful friends, and he used those associations to get this sweetheart deal from Alex Acosta, who was then the U.S. Attorney in Florida, became the Secretary of Labor. That included a non-prosecution agreement.
Secretary of Labor under Donald Trump.
Under Donald Trump.
I'm just saying. With Pam Bondi as the AG of Florida, I'm now getting down my own rabbit hole. I'm just saying.
That's a threat.
Okay, everybody, breaking news. The Trump administration has said Epstein killed himself and that there is no Epstein client list and no information will be released out of protection for privacy and for the victims. Now, some people are immediately suggesting, oh, Trump must be on the Epstein list. Well, wait a second.
So that means one of two things is true, Charlie. Either you and people like you, MAGA influencers, MAGA podcasters, the Trump administration, and Trump himself has been lying to the American people for 6 fucking years about the Epstein list. That it's some deep state conspiracy and a bunch of Democrats are on the list. Demon rats, and how they're all predators. Either that's true or Donald Trump is on that list. And I find it very interesting that Elon Musk tweeted this And I find it even more interesting that although Donald Trump has sued 1,600 people, and a lot of those for defamation, he has not sued Elon Musk for that damning tweet. And the reason that he hasn't sued him is because if he did, that would open up a discovery period, and the courts would review the Epstein files and the Epstein client list. So why hasn't Trump sued Elon? And if you're MAGA, come on. At some point, you need to acknowledge that you have been lied to by daddy, or daddy is a fucking terrible, terrible person. Because it's one of those two things. But don't worry. In 6 months, your memory's gonna be wiped. And you're gonna find yourself confusingly saying, it was the Democrats that told us there was a client list. Just watch. Just watch.
The left knows that there's Democrats on the Epstein list. We know that there's people from both sides, and we want it released even more because of that. Meanwhile, on the right, all I ever see is them saying that it's a ton of Democrats, and they refuse to even consider the concept that Donald Trump might be on the list. Maybe now they might be considering it. That tells you everything you need to know about the two sides here. We're not the same.
Here's an update on how the Pick Me Girls are reacting to the there's no Epstein list. Pick Me Marge says, what about her little black book? This 97-page book contains the names and contact details of almost 2,000 people, including world leaders, celebrities, and businessmen. No one believes there is not a client list. She's going directly in opposition to Donald Trump. It's a big move for her. She also asked, what is the likelihood that evidence linking powerful people to Epstein's victims was destroyed long ago? Elon Musk, he's one of the girls too, says, how can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files? He also reposted a whole bunch of posts about it, saying, release the Epstein files and whatnot. Laura Loomer, on the other hand, is backing Donald Trump and going after Pam Blondie, as she calls her, who's going to be the first person to try to lobby Pam Blondie to push for Miss Maxwell to be freed from her prison sentence in Florida. We all know that this is where this is headed. She also said today Pam Blondie lied and said the U.S. government has no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein being a spy or agent for an intelligence agency. This is a lie. FBI documents from 2008 prove that Epstein provided information for the FBI as agreed upon. And she even provided the document.
A reporter this week finally asked Donald Trump the question that reporters should have been asking him for the last week and a half, and that is your name on that Epstein list? Are you listed in those Epstein files? And upon hearing this question, Donald Trump didn't say, no, I am not in the files. He went on this long rambling response where he ultimately said that Barack Obama, James Comey, and Joe Biden actually created the Epstein files, which again is a pretty big admission that, yes, obviously your name is in there, but you also didn't deny it. So here is what happened. The reporter asked, has Bondi told you that your name is in the files? And he says, she's given us just a very quick briefing. In terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, it's going to be up to her, talking about Bondi. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Today, our memo speaks to itself. We'll get back to you on anything else. I haven't seen all of Trump's statement today. Actually, that was Bondi saying that. Sorry. But either way, are you in the Epstein list? And he's like, she's only given us a quick briefing. So you don't know. So there's a chance you could be in the list. And I think there's a 100% chance you are on the list. The correct answer to that question, regardless of what the real answer is absolutely not. Like any politician, any normal person, when asked, are you on that Epstein list? They should immediately say, oh God, no. No, that's a silly question. We have seen Donald Trump berate reporters for far less than that. This time, he didn't even have the wherewithal to do that. He didn't lash out at this reporter and say, that's a stupid question, you're an evil person, like he did when somebody asked him about the flood response, which was a valid question. This time he's like, well, I mean, I haven't talked to Bondi. She's going to do what she's going to do. By the way, these were created by Obama, Comey, and Biden. And just a couple days ago, it was Obama, Clinton, and Biden. So now I guess Hillary Clinton is not involved in the creation of these, and it was Comey instead. Yeah, that makes total sense, by the way. So his non-denial, I personally am going to take as an admission that, yeah, I'm in the file.
If Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's accomplice and partner in the sex trafficking scheme, is spending 20 years in prison for sex trafficking, and then Trump and his people said in February that there's a client list, but then yesterday there turns out to be no client list, but then Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for sex trafficking. Who was she sex trafficking people to if there was no list? Like, how was she convicted? Also, when the White House invited all of those influencers like DC Drano and Libs of TikTok, and they handed them a full binder of the Epstein files, what was in the Epstein files? What was in those binders? And also, if Jeffrey Epstein said that Donald Trump was one of his best friends, and then Republicans got fired up that they were going to release the files because it was going to expose all of the elites in the corruption with the sex trafficking and the...
Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve.
That's Laura Ingraham getting booed, talking about Donald Trump covering up the Epstein files and saying they don't exist. Laura Ingraham, one of Donald Trump's top propagandists, she was speaking in Tampa at the Turning Points USA conference. You don't get much more MAGA than that. MAGA is out for blood. They are pissed off and feel betrayed by Donald Trump covering up the Epstein files and the Epstein list.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
Do you guys not remember when a bunch of conservative content creators went on a photo shoot to prove to people that they got the Epstein files? Oh well, looks like they were just carrying around a bunch of nothing in those binders. Because Trump's Department of Justice is now saying that Epstein didn't even have a client list. It literally could not be more obvious that they're doing this to cover up for Trump. And he's so guilty because look at his response today. He was asked about this.
Why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If I
could I just interrupt for a second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. Are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
Guilty! We all know that he's on this list. Or, maybe I'm just making stuff up. Who knows? Trump supporters, your own president lied to you, your administration lied to you, and your own favorite content creators lied to you. What is it going to take for you guys to stop this cult-like behavior? Oh, also, by the way, one more thing. The Democratic Party could 100% campaign a message on this. It's an easy layup, but they're not going to. Because Bill Clinton is also on this list. Everyone should face accountability no matter what, but unfortunately politics is treated like a team sport now by people. So it doesn't look like that's going to happen, unfortunately.
Man, all of these MAGA supporters that are falling out with Trump now behind this Epstein file or Epstein case or whatever, I don't understand what took y'all so long to get here, but welcome. We've been trying to tell y'all this, like what's going on, and y'all weren't listening. I don't know why. The rest of Trump's lies, the fake assassination, the fake, all of this stuff that he's done, and y'all didn't believe any of that, but now this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. Okay, yeah, this man's been lying to y'all since the beginning of time, and I'm not even into politics like that. Like I always say, both sides are evil, but let's be real. Like, this man has literally shown y'all his colors several times. He showed it to us all. And now you just deciding to jump on board behind the Epstein files. Like, nothing else that he's done, like the numerous things that he's done, has ever, hit your noggin. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, welcome.
Pam Bondi went on Fox News and said that there was an Epstein client list that was on her desk waiting for her to review and release to the public. Now the Trump administration is saying this list never even existed. That does not make sense. There were members of the Justice Department saying this list existed. And oh so coincidentally, Elon Musk around a month ago said that Trump was on the client list. Then a month later, now this list just doesn't exist. The Trump administration says there was never a list. No one was ever on it. The Trump administration was so confident behind this list, they decided to have an entire White House photo op in which they invited conservative influencers to get the preliminary phase of the files in their hands and take a picture of it. I believe they called it Epstein Files Phase 1, implying that there were more phases after Phase 1. But now the Trump admin is stopping at Phase 1. There was never a Phase 2, Phase 3. Really? It's almost as if the Trump administration saw something within the files that they don't want being released to the public. The Justice Department seemed adamant on releasing the files to the public. Now they're releasing nothing to the public. Nothing more is going to be released. Nothing is making sense, and something really fishy is probably going on.